What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. I've messed up. Today, it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy, but I'm here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as Joe Bear in the house. And as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Let's get open for business here, and let's wake up the football guy. I killed the music. Sorry. I just got some incredible news. I've actually got to hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more. I'm sorry. I digress. I got to hit the road to go to Waynesboro because today, I just got a call from Power Company. I've been saying, can you let me know when you're coming to dig the trench to put the power in? They just called me and said, well, the trench is in, and we need to get into the house to make sure the cover's on the panel so we can turn on the electricity. And I've been waiting since October to get that. So right now, I got to hit the road. So I'll be talking to you guys on the road, but you know, I got to have my morning coffee. I got to do my morning video from here before I leave and so on. So this morning, it was kind of crazy because I don't know if this happens to you guys. Now, here's what happens. There are a lot of channels that take the clips from the different shows and they're clickbaiters, okay? And, you know, I think it's like foreign countries or something or other. Because, like, this morning, I see, get up, Greeny update on Cowboys plan to trade Dak Prescott to the Buccaneers. And this is PAK Hira Malia, okay? Don't know who that person is, but I guarantee if you go through their content, it's all kind of clickbait. They basically clickbaited the title to the point where it makes you say, the Cowboys plan to trade Buccaneers to, Dak Prescott to the Buccaneers. You know, like a lot of times I'll see these ones and you'll say, you know, Michael Irvin goes off, and Michael Irvin's not even the clip. It's not even a clip from a show that he's on. But be that as it may, I want to at least hear what Get Up actually had as a point. Because I know when Cowboy fans out there that hate Dak, and it's almost crazy the amount of negative comments and the hatred that Dak Prescott gets just looking at the comments on my channel. It's insane where we are. But let's listen to what they had to say, because, of course, they're going to throw and poo-poo Dak Prescott and everything else and all that, and the haters out there will love it. So let's go.
Dak Prescott led the NFL in interceptions last year, and he has only one more year of guaranteed money on his contract. That's a fascinating combination. Now, even so, Stephen Jones said the other day that he anticipates that Dak is going to be their guy, quote, for the next 10 years. Here was Bart Scott yesterday with his thoughts on all that.
Dak Prescott proved that he's not in that class. No matter what you want to say, he's not in that class with the elite. We make a mistake all the time by putting guys that are good and making them stars. We take guys that are stars and we make them superstars. It is only so many superstars in this league, and there's only so many stars. You got to make sure that you put these quarterbacks in the right category. He is not a plus multiplier where you can have a roster that is not complete.
You know, it's interesting stuff from Bart yesterday, and it's a strong position, and I don't think he's alone. Where do you stand, Harry? Is what Bart is saying. He was sitting right where you're sitting right now. Is he right?
I agree 100%. Now, Dak is a good quarterback, and he has some great attributes to his game. But when you talk about elite, I think we do use that word too loosely nowadays. When I think of elite, I think about a Patrick Mahomes that loses Tyreek Hill and still able to take his team to the Super Bowl. I also think about how Patrick Mahomes lost 3 receivers in that game, in the AFC Championship game, and still made magical plays.
They also had the officials.
The 49ers this year and last year didn't play elite, and if he had been that way, they would still probably be playing right now to this day. Granted, they got past Philly. So I agree with Bart 100%.
And you were making the point this morning that the loss of Amari Cooper, you sort of view that in a similar vein to what Mahomes did without Tyreek Hill and the way it seemed to impact Dak's season.
100%. If you copy and paste Dak Prescott to the Chiefs team right now, they would not be playing in the Super Bowl this Sunday.
That's reasonable. Ninko, how about you?
I mean, what is it, 8:08 right now? I'm not going to dump in Dak's Cheerios this morning. I'm just
thank you.
Bart, okay, I'm not ready to do it.
Is that a thing, by the way? I don't mean to. Is that an expression?
I just made it up.
Okay. I've never.
It's like the punch bowl. I don't know.
No, anyway. I understand what it is, but I'm just saying I've never heard anyone use that.
It's just it's morning, it's breakfast.
You're an interesting guy. Okay, go ahead.
Taking it to, maybe that'll be my title.
Okay, in 2020, here we go. Little Hembo stat. 2020, offensive line protection, 26 for the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
Oh.
2021, 23rd. Not really good. 2022, 28th in the NFL. I don't care who you are. If you do not have consistency up front, your offensive line, you are going to struggle. And Dak, I look at Dak. You look at him as a player. He's a specimen. He looks great. Jersey on, big, strong fella. He could throw the football anywhere over the field. So what he has to do is just take care of the football a little bit better. If he was able to take care of the football, see the field better, which I think if you have a top 10 offensive line, if you just give him a 10th ranked offensive line, I think that gives him more confidence, gives you a better vision of the football field, and you're not forcing things down the field. You're not throwing the ball into coverage because in your head I'm going to be hit 1,000, 2,000, get the ball out, or I'm going to get sacked here. I do believe that if you surround Dak with a few better pieces,
right.
You give them a little bit better pieces, maybe a better offensive coordinator. They're going to have to do that.
There you go.
And you give him a better offensive line, he will be that guy.
See, so in some ways, I feel like the two of you are kind of saying the same thing, but in the different direction, which is to say there are a very select few quarterbacks who just elevate everything around them. And
Stop for a second there. Okay, so I'd like to know, what was Pat Mahomes' offensive line rated at? What was their offensive line? And, we got rid of course, I agree, we got rid of Amari Cooper, of course, that changed things. They lost Tyreek Hill, but he still has some really good weapons. And I don't think that you can say that Kellen Moore, although they're beginning to, is Andy Reid calling the plays. But go ahead.
And most of the rest of them, even the very good ones, which Dak probably is, need that help around them. And the problem in the NFL is once you start getting paid the way Dak Prescott is getting paid, it's harder to surround these guys with the players.
And the star.
Do you know that Geno Smith's market value right now is $39 million? $39 million? Okay.
The star in the helmet sort of amplifies all the light that is on it. But that brings us to the contract. Because it's one thing for Stephen Jones to say, yeah, we want him to be here for another 10 years. He only has 1 year of guaranteed money left on his deal. Are they going to extend that contract?
Probably they're going to try. They have not approached Dak Prescott about a new deal as of yet, but he might want to actually play out another year because he expects to play a lot better. He plans to trim those turnovers in half, have a breakout year, and then he has more leverage. But you see some of those cap numbers right there. That $49 million is huge. Right now, that's almost, or it's actually over 20% of their entire salary cap.
Right.
So they're going to have to keep reworking this deal over time. I think that's partly why he's going to be there for a very long time, because they have to keep that number set.
Well, that's really the interesting piece of all of this, because if he goes into let's call it a lame duck year, if he plays this year with no guaranteed money, look, we've seen that before, right? Once Lamar Jackson, we talked about it. Dak a few years ago, we talked about it. When the quarterback has 1 year and nothing else, it becomes a prove-it year, not just for the coach, but for the quarterback too.
Well, you're risking a lot. You're basically betting on yourself. But for Dak, if I'm him, I'm trying to extend early. Even though I had those turnovers last season, this year is not a guarantee. That's one of the main reasons why Mike McCarthy probably took over the play calls. If he's going to be on his last limb, I'm going down on my terms, not Kellen Moore's terms.
I think that's exactly right. No, I think that's the way we look at things. So I think it is a make-or-break season in so many different ways in Dallas. Meanwhile, there is sneaky, huge quarterback news in the NFL coming out today, and it could very well impact that man.
All right, so I'm glad that they pointed out that we have in pass blocking the 23rd. And I hate to say this, we got one good receiver. One good receiver. The rest of our receivers all ranked at the bottom. But that's okay. That's okay. Because basically Dak Prescott can be on the Matthew Stafford plan. Believe me, a team that is like the Rams would more than be happy to trade for Dak Prescott. We as Cowboy fans are never satisfied. I keep saying in my mind, and I'm sure we'll get trolls out there that'll make videos or call me whatever and things like that. I dare say it's harder to find a quarterback. So, if you're telling me that the offensive line was only 23rd in win rate, that Zeke Elliott is washed, that the wide receiver core, meh, and tight end in flux, and you still led the league in scoring, I think that actually says more about Dak Prescott actually playing above and elevating the team. I know the turnovers sucked, but see, this is the same thing of the Tony Romo-ism, where we were basically in the same situations. And Tony Romo, it was either we're going to win because I made a great play or we're going to lose because of it, because there was no other option. Anyway, I got to get my butt on the road again so I can go ahead and get this invoices. Excuse me, not this invoice. I've got to do that too. But get down the road so I can get this thing squared away with the power company and get power at the Red Brick House. I appreciate you guys, but I got to roll. Marco's here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. I wish.
You did one hell of a job, and all the thing else I got to